Yo, people. Shit's been nuts. I feel like I've gotten so much done now. As far as like trying to better my situation. I've been working really hard on creating a budget and my debt and stuff like that. I've been working on all that kind of stuff. And I think I finally, I am working with the debt consolidator and fucking finally brought my shit down to a reasonable amount. And so that makes me happy because I was paying like almost $400 just a month just for fucking like, what the fuck is this person doing? I was paying pretty much like $400 a month just for one, like the loan that I took out for surgery and covering bills and stuff like that, and gas and food and all that kind of stuff. And so I've been paying that back, and it's been killing me. It's almost $400 a month. It's like $399, so it's basically $400 a month. And I got all of my shit, all of my like little, like my credit thing, and then that thing over there, and this piece of shit. I got all of my fucking shit consolidated into one payment that's lower than what I was paying for that one thing. So I'm paying $303 to bring everything down in 21 months, which is great because that is gonna fucking save me a lot of money. Because the other minimum payments for the other things are fucking so high because they've not been paid in so long. So bringing it down to $303 a month for everything is like pretty good. And so I broke that down and figured out what I need to make a week to cover that. And just with the money freed up from consolidating all of my debt, I should be able to get ahead and finally start saving. So that's what I've just been working on for the past couple days, is figuring out what I'm going to do as far as my career, which is I'm going to be going into probably front-end software engineering and fucking or like web developer, like kind of working basically like UX, UI. It's more, I want to work more with like what the user of the app or web browser, website, or whatever the fuck, like I want to be working more with what they're seeing and how they're reacting to it. And then once I get my hands dirty coding a little bit and get level up in my career and get a good paying job, then I fucking want to start learning the back end of it, and then so I basically can become a full stack engineer, and then maybe even work myself into the cloud. But I know that everything is computers and everything is fucking just, it's not gonna go away. Like, it's just gonna keep evolving, and things are gonna get more difficult. More and more people are gonna be using websites and apps and AI and all of that bullshit. So to me, the investment is, you know, tech. So I'm probably gonna, well, I am gonna go to school for a tech job. Preferably something that I could have like that's hybrid, that I can work from home, and then maybe like once or twice during the week I can go in for a few hours to like an office of some sort. But primarily working from home is what I'm shooting for. So I've kind of got like a little bit of a plan. I kind of got like a little bit of a plan as far as like what my next year or two is gonna look like, and it's just gonna be a lot of the rest of this year is gonna be a lot of just like paying that shit down, and starting to save. I'm gonna get some help with the coding. I'm gonna go to a coding boot camp just so I can get it in like, it takes like 4.5 months to learn everything. It's very, very fast paced. It's very like boom, 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 boom. But as soon as I get, you know, some fucking knowledge in it, I could start doing even like, there's apps on, you know, the internet where you could like pick up freelance shit and stuff like that. But that's kind of like where I'm going. And then since it's going to give me financial freedom and I'll be working from home, I'll have more time to invest in my hobbies, which is music, and I'll have more money to invest in equipment and different shit like that. So I'm pretty excited to just start learning that, but I know that I can't just run and just jump into it because I don't have the money for the coding boot camp. And I also need to focus on my quality of life right now, and the quality of life just always living paycheck to paycheck, and like every other week my fucking bank account going into negative is really fucking with my mental health. So I've been trying to just figure out how I can make that better, and I think that I've done it, but we will see. You know what I mean? Best made plans always fail. But I think that I've done a pretty good job at consolidating all of my bullshit into one payment. And it's only going to take 21 months, and there's no interest on it. So everything that I'm paying is going directly to the what do they call that? It's not going into interest. It's going directly to the principal. So yeah, I don't know. It's just been crazy. My brain's been spinning. I fucking do not like being broke all the time. And I've just been thinking I have so much time here at work that I could be researching ways to get myself out. So, you know what I mean? Everything will be self-coding. Yeah, okay. You're still going to need people to make those apps. And then you're still going to need people to make websites and everything that are you know, be user-friendly and easy maneuverable, you know, easy to maneuver through the shit. Just like people say, oh yeah, you know, you're gonna go and spend all of this time to become a chef, and pretty soon, you know, robots are gonna take over, you know, all of the cooking in the fast food restaurants. Yeah, well, you're still gonna need people that have worked in that industry to have knowledge about how things need to work and move, and then also people need to run those machines. You know what I mean? Just like with welding, when I got into welding, people are like, oh, well, they're going to have like machines that are going to be doing the welding. And so, well, they already do, but you need people to run those machines, and those people get paid big bucks You know what I mean? Because they have to be constantly learning new things, because everything in tech is always progressing. It's never staying the same. So the one thing with front end developing is the fact that some of the stuff that you're going to learn could possibly be irrelevant in the next couple of years. That's why you're always moving and learning new shit. And back end is a lot more than I think you know, Grady. You're always going to need somebody to run something. You know, there is a scare of truck, like everything has its scare. Like the truck drivers are like, oh my god, the self-driving trucks are going to come, and then all the truck drivers are going to fucking be out of work. Yeah, well, guess what? Still got truck drivers. Still not looking like fucking we're going to have self-driving fucking semis on the road anytime soon. Yeah, and then if you look at the industry and the growth and front end development and anything in tech, as far as coding, as far as programming, as far as apps and computers and stuff like that, that's all going to grow. It's all projected to grow considerably. You know, and you know, you still need places to hold the data that these gosh darn fucking things. So people need to be working in the cloud. And they need to have network security. They need to have like there's just so many fucking things that is tech that you can't sit there and say that, oh yeah, all of the programmers and developers and within the next 5 years are all going to be out of jobs because everything is going to be doing it by itself. That's delusional talk. It's delusional talk. You know, you gotta think about when you click on a website, all of the things that go into you seeing that website, or all of the things that go into you using your phone and apps, and everything that keeps everything safe. All of these companies that are keeping your holding data that need to be stored, and it needs to be, you know, constantly. Things just need constant, you know, work and upgrades and shit. Like IT techs aren't gonna go out of business or be irrelevant anytime soon. So it's like, you know, when one door shuts, there's always like 50 billion other doors open, because it's tech. This is a tech world. We're moving slowly into everything being tech. You know what I mean? So, regardless, there's always going to be something. The world is computers. So if you go into computers, you go into a tech job, you go into learning something about computers, you're not going to be jobless. You know what I mean? Grady just likes to pop bubbles because he's over there sitting there doing fucking absolutely nothing. Do you even know what coding is? Do you know what CSS is and HTML and JavaScript? Do you know that JavaScript is old as fuck, that it's been happening forever? Do you know about fucking Python and all of that shit? Everything that, look, UI, like fucking Pug and fucking, just, there's so many different programs and languages that you're just not making any sense. It's almost like you're just spitting out bullshit that you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. You invest in it, and yet you're still like sitting there unhappy. You know what I mean? One company and 1 or 10 companies that are using self-coding fucking whatever the fucks isn't gonna change the world, bro. Yeah, and I'm sitting here making money and working while you're sitting there talking to me about how you invest. Invest what money? Invest what? Invest what? Pretty soon you'll be running out of money if you don't fucking go and get a job. So, people can sit there and try to hate. I appreciate the whatever the fuck Grady's trying to do, but it really doesn't make any sense to bring up things that have nothing to do with my starting in tech and making and being successful. Like, everything has its fucking con. Everything has its silver lining, and everything has its fucking, its deal breaker. But the fact is that tech continuously gets more and more fucking difficult, and it's just with the years you're just gonna have more advanced programs and advanced things, and everything's advancing. So you literally have people that just work on websites all fucking damn day long. They choose, oh, I want these colors to be this, and I want the fucking, well, they don't choose. They basically have a client, and the client wants you to do this, that, and the other, and then you do that, and the other, and, you have projects and stuff like that. Think about the new companies that are starting up that don't have the money or the resources for, software, like self-coding software and stuff like that. Like, they don't have that shit. There's so many new companies that are starting up every single day that are taking the basic, that are still using JavaScript, and JavaScript is old as fuck. JavaScript is from the fucking 50s. There was 10 fucking UI UX fucking developers in fucking like the 50s, and now there's fucking, I don't even know, thousands. So yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be doing. It's just doing, if anything, the downfall with doing a coding boot camp is the fact that because it's such a fucking good industry to get into, you have a lot of young people, and you have a lot of people that are going to school for 4 years and coming out with bachelor's degrees that fucking have gone through the computer science fucking classes and all of that, and they're going to be way, way, way more advanced in the back end than someone coming out of coding boot camp is going to be. So that's why the plan is to go into front end, which there's pros and cons to everything, but you can get your foot in the door doing front end, and it's less like, if you haven't had a job doing something in tech, you're probably going to struggle learning back end and learning all of those damn languages, because there's like fucking so many. But with front end, it's basically what you see is what you get. And so there's not a lot of like, it's just different. And it's, I've done my research and learned that front end is probably the best way to start your tech career and developer career, and then work into back end, so you're learning pretty much everything. And then just with being full stack, like, there's fucking, what do they call it, like Angle and React and fucking and UI UX and things like that are booming right now because of so many people that are looking at the websites and using apps. But like I said, some of the stuff that you're going to be learning can become irrelevant. That's why it's good to learn back end as well. No, I'm going to get one. I'm going to get the I want to go into cloud computing, where I'm working in the cloud and working with data, and kind of I'd like to focus on like, you know, security, you know what I mean, like with data and cloud computing. But I'm just starting from the bottom, because programming and all of these languages, you're gonna, if you know them, it's just gonna make your life a lot easier. So I just want to get my hands dirty. If there's a will, there's a way. I ain't never, you know, it's not like I'm going to school for fucking liberal arts or fucking like, whatever the fuck. Like, I'm going to school for something that's actually being used constantly. You know what I mean? So, it's a start. It's not everything is going to be perfect, but it's definitely better than what I'm doing now. You know what I mean? And I'm not staying stagnant. Like, whether it, you know, I fucking, you know, it's irrelevant in 3 to 4 to 5 years from now or not. You know what I mean? I'm still trying right now. I have to deal with right now. I can't look at 5 years from now. You know what I mean? 5 years from now, I should fucking literally be way, way deeper into the tech world than I am now. And so, you know, like I said, when one door shuts, another one opens, because it's tech. It's not fucking, you know, some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, it's tech. It's not being a fucking electrician. You know what I mean? It's tech. It's not being a plumber. It's not being a truck driver. It's not being a fucking security guard. You know what I mean? It's literal tech that is used everywhere and constantly. And businesses, whether they're just starting or they're big or, you know, whatever, they're constantly looking for good developers and engineers to bring onto their team to make things, their company, better and to keep their shit safe. You know what I mean? You don't even have to work for a company when you know coding and and know languages and stuff like that. You can go and do freelancing. There's a lot of websites that you can pay for, be like subscribe to, be a member, and they give you a spot where where people post jobs. It's all tech jobs, just tech jobs, tech jobs. It could be like one day, it could be 6 months, it could be 3 months, it could be a year, it could be something that you just work on for, 6 months and then don't get hired, you have to go and find something else. Or it could be like something that you work on, but everything that you work on is useful, because that's going to go into your portfolio and your resume, and you can be like, well, I worked on this, project, basically working with ADA clients, you know what I mean? Or, it's you focused on people with, disabilities and stuff and all of this shit. And so, like, it's good to just do it and then, build a resume, build a portfolio, and the interviews for these things are just all gonna be them testing your knowledge. It's not gonna be like, oh, well, how do you feel? Like, no, it's gonna be like, well, what can you do? You know what I mean? What projects have you worked on? If this fucking happens and this and that, like, what do you do in this, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's like an actual interview for a fucking job, so. I don't want to do welding. I'm actually a very good welder. I don't want to do welding. I want to do something that I'm interested in. And that's the most important thing. Or you're going to end up like a whole bunch of people who sit there and invest a lot of money into something that just makes good money and fucking they don't like it. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm going coding boot camp and not going to school for 4 years. Because it could be that I don't like this specific part of it. But like I said, there's so many different jobs that come out of going to a coding boot camp and learning the languages and learning tech and becoming a developer, that if I don't like one thing, I'll go and try another thing. But getting my foot in the door and learning something is the first step. So that's what I'm doing. The only thing is that a lot of the jobs want, they want bachelor's degrees and stuff like that. But really, there's companies out there that just want somebody to be able to do the job, and that's why the interviews are the way that they are. So if you can show that, if you can get an interview and show that you know what you're doing, it doesn't matter if you have a fucking degree or not. You know what I mean? Because like I said, that shit's changing, and a lot of what you're doing is looking up how to solve a problem. So, like, you're gonna run into problems, and the biggest fucking thing that you need is problem-solving skills, and skills in tech and what you're doing. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can teach yourself how to code. You can do. There's people that do that all the time. You know, I mean, they teach themselves how to code and stuff. My brain don't work like that. I need a classroom, and I need a some stability and structure. Like I can't, you know what I mean? I've got too much going on. I got an ADHD brain. I feel like it's like I could be very focused on it for like maybe 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna fucking like, my brain will go somewhere else. Like I can hyperfixate on it and learn quite a bit, but am I gonna be able to keep my motivation up on my own? Probably not. So I'm gonna go with a boot camp and learn it. And for anybody that's ever telling you that learning something is dumb or wrong or pointless, they've got issues, because learning is one of the most important things being a human, is learning and expanding your knowledge on things. If you're just sitting there in your fucking bubble and not learning anything new, like, just wasting time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how boring, like, I'm bored, you know what I mean? I can sit here and do security and be broke and live this life and die and be unhappy and all of this shit, or I can sit there and try to fucking fix it, and that's all I'm doing. So for anybody to sit there and tell me, or anybody else that's trying to better their situation, that it's pointless, well, I hope that they got all of their shit together, you know what I mean? I hope that they're making $70,000 to $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 a year. I hope that their bills are paid. I hope that all of their shit is together and fucking, you know what I mean? Because honestly, if that was the case, they would not have that much time to be worried about what I'm doing. They'd be so in their own life, because that's what happens, you know what I mean? You don't really have a lot of fucking time once you become successful, unless you're like some fucking billionaire, fucking millionaire, or like some actor, DJ, you know what I mean? Even DJs, they're constant traveling all over the world, constantly. If you think that they got free time, you know what I mean? If you think that they got free time, nah, man. They're fuck that. They're always got their head in their laptop. They're fucking constantly traveling to a new spot, doing a new show. You know what I mean? Working with other people, like. Well, that's great. I'm glad you're up on your high horse and all of that good shit. Grady, if you ever have any questions to ask about being successful or anything like that, go ahead and talk to Grady. You know what I mean? Grady's got it all. But I do remember a specific conversation that I will not, I don't have to, that I will not be airing, that me and Grady had. He could sit here and act and say and put on this fucking show as much as he wants, but I remember specifically a conversation that we had that I don't, that's all I have to say. So You can talk as much as you want. Remember who you're talking to. Remember who you're talking to, because I'm not just some viewer, you know. But anyway, with that being said, it's just myself too. I'm a single person. Well, I'm in a relationship, but I'm not married. You know what I mean? There's nobody helping me out. You know, my mom is the only person. That's it. So. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out. I'm just trying to get my cut. I'm just trying to find my place where I'm in a comfortable spot, dude. You know what I mean? I think that anybody that has, like, that wants to go out and try to make things better, like make their life better, I support that. You know what I mean? So even if they're gonna be a online influencer, you know what I mean? Like if they're bettering their life, you know what I mean? Then I really can't be talking shit. And possibly it doesn't, dude. And I'm telling you, from someone that's been doing the research, that's fucking trying to get into this, that you're wrong. You know what I mean? And your investment in a self-coding company has nothing to do with the rest of the world, Grady. Get over it. Like your fucking investment in the self-coding company has nothing to do with me or the rest of the world. Like, that's great. Like Elon Musk is fucking, like, you know, investing in self-driving fucking trucks, but are they anywhere? No. You're not Elon Musk, so figure it out. I'm being mean? No, I'm being brutally honest. The way that you want to be brutally honest with me and tell me that what I'm trying to do, everything that I've been working on, everything that I'm excited about is fucking pointless, and that, you know what I mean, like you've done so much better and this and that, and fucking, like, it would be like you fucking paying for a culinary arts degree to go work at McDonald's, like, and I'm being mean? Okay, that's cool. Well, just remember conversations that we've had, Grady, because you can act like you're sitting there just doing so good, but, you know, are you? That's great. I said that you're an unhappy person, because anybody that's trying to steal happiness through a chat on a fucking stream with 3 people and one of them being you, and you're trying to, like, still pop my bubble and steal my happiness, I think it says more about you than it does about me, and it says more about your situation, and it's you're projecting. I didn't fucking do anything. You know, I'm just coming on here and telling people what I'm excited about and what I've been working on, and you're the one in chat saying that it's all bullshit. So, you know, like I said, I hope that you got all your shit together, and you know, your self-coding company that you're investing in is you know, gonna be the pioneer of tech, because then you'll just have nothing to worry about ever. You'll never have to go back to work, right? You know, so it is what it is. Regardless if Grady thinks that it's bullshit or not, you know, Grady really isn't anybody. He's just a friend of mine, an associate, a business partner. You know what I mean? You know. Now, if Elon Musk said, hey, you know what, you probably shouldn't be going to coding boot camp, well, then I might think about it. But then also, what am I doing? Like, I'm not doing anything. I can spend $3,000 in a worse way You know what I mean? I'd rather go and spend it learning something new. And I've done the welding. I went to school for welding. I went to school for truck driving. I did all, like, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to figure it out. There's no template for life. You know, it's literally a bunch of people that just like that pop out of vaginas and like they just fucking like try to figure it out. Like there's no template for it. Like some people get born into wealth and get born into shit, but that doesn't mean that they get born into happiness. You know, like I'm trying to find something that I can be happy doing. You know what I mean? So I can do it for a long time. And you know what I mean? Like the world is so big and there's so many opportunities that I'm not going to allow one single fucking person to tell me that I can't or that it's not worth it. No. Fuck that. Yeah, I know some YouTubers that are on their way out of the world, let alone fucking YouTube and streaming. You know, I mean, I know people that like to go and fuck around with rocks. You know, there's literal archaeologists that want to just be in dirt and fucking dig shit up and fucking like look for shit that probably isn't even fucking there. You know what I mean? I don't know, half the world doesn't probably want to fucking be in the desert or in the heat or digging in dirt. You know what I mean? So to each their own. Everybody's different, you know what I mean? Just because I like to climb rocks or fucking be a rock climber doesn't mean that the fucking next person I run into is going to find any fucking value in it at all. And that's fine, because that's how the world works. And you don't let those people define your value or your worth or dictate where you're going in your life. You know what I mean? Because if you did that, then you'd be fucking spinning around in circles not knowing which direction to go. Because you'd be like, oh, well, fuck, let me go over here and do this because this person said it was so good. Oh, wait, this person said that that's actually not very good. Oh, wait, this thing over here. And, oh, fuck. Like, do you, like, fucking take a jump, put your fucking foot in the water. If it doesn't fucking work out, then it doesn't work out. But at least you're trying. And you're going to learn a lot of things about yourself and the world on the way to where you're going. And so I really don't have any regrets on, you know, the decisions that I've, you know, am making. Like, I think it's good for me. And I think that, you know, tech is interesting and it's a good industry to get into. Because there's so many things. It's like tech is just the trunk. Like that's the very base. Like that's the roots. You know what I mean? You have all of the other parts of the tree, and you know that's just it explains how, you know, diverse it is and how many opportunities and different routes you can take. So that's what I'm getting into. I'm going to go and do that. And then, you know, learning languages that put websites and things like that together. I'll be able to use that. You know, I've looked at Indeed. You know what I mean? I've seen, because that's kind of the thing that you got to do. Like, it's all nice to be like, oh, I want to do this. You know what I mean? And, you know, the cool thing about the internet is there's Indeed and other job searching forums and apps and websites that literally you can type in what you want to be and hit search in your area and look at jobs that look for people like see the jobs with your own fucking eyeball. Like, you don't have to guess, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh, I want to be a firefighter, boop 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 boop. Type that shit into that motherfucker, and you'll get to see, oh, I want to be a dog walker. You type that shit in there and see what the fucking job market's looking like in your area. You know what I mean? What people are paying? What's the going pay? Like, what's the average? You know what I mean? Well, what is the thing that you're paying for, the classes, are these the things that they're asking as far as like qualifications? Are you making the right choice? Are you going to be learning the right shit? You know what I mean? It's all research. You go ahead, Grady, on Indeed, type in in Los Angeles, type in software developer, type in web developer, type front end software engineer, type in back end engineer, type in full stack, type in UX UI design, type in React, what I'm talking about? Like, it's not that I've looked, I've researched. You know what I mean? You don't even know what coding is. Do you know what I'm going to be getting taught in my coding bootcamp? Here, JavaScript. I'll be going for front-end developer in Los Angeles. Front-end developer, because that's what the coding bootcamp is. You have front-end and you have back-end, and that's it. Oh, 120,000, 140,000, fully remote. 120,000, 160,000. Web development instructor, hybrid, 4,200 a month. Web development coding teacher, part-time, $55 to $60 an hour. Web developer, 65,000 to 150,000 a year. Let's see, developer relations for the front-end developer community. Let's see. Mobile application developers, estimated 90.8 thousand to 150,000 a year. You must be an expert in at least one of the iPhone, Android, or Windows development. Let's look at it. This thing here says that what kind of languages do you need to... Oh, CSS, Angular, JavaScript. Oh, wow. These are all preferred. Wow. So look, JavaScript, front-end development, CSS. Do you have any of those things? Well, guess what? Those are all the things that I'm going to be learning in the coding bootcamp. You know what I mean? Software engineer. Oh, you got to have 7 years of experience. React, full stack web developer. The only problem with this is that it's so saturated. There's a lot of competition. So that's why going front end and learning that and getting comfortable in that, and possibly even doing some freelance shit, you know what I mean, and building my portfolio and doing stuff like that, it's going to work out. JavaScript is still around. Yes, it's still being used. HTML is too. CSS, Angular, React, all of that is all, while JavaScript is old as fuck, it's still fucking pioneer. It's still like something that you need to learn how to use. Like, and then there's all these different, places where you do your actual work, Web application developer, pretty straightforward. 60,000 to 75,000 a year, but it needs a bachelor's. Going to front end developer, entry level. Entry-level React developer, which I'll be learning React and Angular. Requirements. They want a bachelor's. That's the only thing is there's people that want bachelor's. Or Python. Python's another fucking thing. But see, bachelor's is preferred here. Bachelor's is preferred here on this one. And this is $70,000 to $120,000 in Santa Monica for a full stack React Python developer. The skills you will need, you need JavaScript, React, front-end development, Python, Django, Pandas, SQL. Yeah, it's all just, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Here you go. Here's another one. Let's see. Yeah, preferred. Yeah, don't need it. But then there's a lot of them that are required. Bachelor's degree is required. You think that I don't know? Jesus Christ, it's one of the fucking things that, like, really just irritates the fuck out of me. Like, please don't talk to me like I'm a fucking idiot. Don't talk to me like I'm an idiot. Because I will fucking beat the shit out of you, literally. I'll be like your best friend, what's his fucking dumb name? Buck Angel, and I'll just have you meet me outside. How about that? Graphic web designer. This is probably gonna start looking at, like, I'll probably not be making the best money in the beginning, but I'll be getting experience. And that's kind of like how it was in trucking. Like, I was told, you know what I mean? They want to say, oh, trucking is a great job. You know, you go and make a lot of money. Yeah, not in your first year. You're not. You got to fucking build yourself into that. Entry-level web developer on site. $55,000, $65,000 a year. WordPress, it's another thing that is gonna get you in the door. And the cool thing about this place, though, is that they have a job finding, like, that's part of it. Like, in the coding thing, like, they're gonna help you get in contact with people that are gonna need your skills. So software engineer. Oh, you want me to just put coding, right? Coder, right. Let me just put coder in here. Still making way more than I'm making. Medical coder. What the fuck? No. Software engineer. Entry level. Do I get to work from home? That's what I want. I would prefer to work from home, but, like, some of these things are hybrid, you know, where you're working in an office and at home. Entry-level software developer. See, they want bachelor's degrees. That's the only downfall. Oh, see, look at this. API. Remote. This one's remote. Anyway, I'm about to get relieved right now. And I've already been doing a little bit of coding and stuff on my own with Skill Crush and stuff like that. But I gotta go because I'm gonna be getting relieved and shit. So, well, that's what I'm getting at. That's why coding boot camps, you know, they're good. It's good to learn something. There's gonna be a lot of people in there that have gone to school, you know, 4 years of school for it. But the most important thing is that if you know how to do the job, then you know how to do the job. And so that's kind of like what I'm getting at. And if you look at freelancing, if you actually research, you know, like software engineer freelancing on the internet, it's actually a fucking thing. Some people just decide to do freelance work and not work for big companies. You know what I mean? Because then they work project to project, and let's say like, oh, it's a 6-month project. They make enough in that 6 months to where they don't have to work for another month, and they go on vacation or something like that, and then they go and they find another project. You know what I mean? Or you just have people that are just constantly working for months and months and months. But that's the cool thing about software engineering is that, you know, a lot of it is remote. So, that being said, I am going to go home now. See you guys later. Bye.